I would say any beauty treatments that need to be done, these need to be done now. The week of the wedding, I would do nothing. People are being very, very cautious. So, I think you need to be still very flexible with all of these things that are happening.
Morning everyone, welcome to our coffee morning sessions. We're super excited to get chatting about different things about the wedding industry and how we can help you further.
Well, with the peak of wedding season, what would you say are like the top wedding day trends? And then also, do you see like couples going to like one direction or another? And what would you sort of keep and what do you think actually doesn't work and couples should reconsider?
So I would say, first of all, stop looking at new things. Everything is booked, everything is paid, everything is organized. Stop looking at new things. It's too late now. We can't get more stuff. Secondly, I would say, especially if couples are based here in the UK or depending on where the destination is, start looking at travel details. So obviously we know that with Brexit now, is it called the ETA to come in and out of Britain? Yes. So you need to look at that. People coming in from the States. Start looking into detail about all of that because you may need to do some paperwork that you weren't aware of before. The other important thing is also for gentlemen, make sure that you are going to get your hair cut within the next month. Don't do it the week of the wedding. Do it at least 10 days, 2 weeks before so that it has time to not look freshly cut. I think for women as well, if you are just having a slight trim, make sure that you do it sooner rather than later. I would say any beauty treatments that need to be done, these need to be done now. The week of the wedding, I would do nothing. You don't want to have an allergic reaction or anything.
That's interesting because many times it's like the week of the wedding when you actually go in to get, so you would advise
the only thing the week of the wedding that I would do is like the day before you depart or the day before is nails.
Nails, absolutely.
You want to try and leave that to as late as possible so that they look as fresh as possible. So I think that's a really important thing. I would say if you're wearing new shoes, make sure that if you haven't been wearing these around the house, make sure that now you do it religiously daily. My big tip for both men and women is big pair of socks and you wear the shoes around the house. You won't damage the sole, they'll still look lovely. But I remember the 2-3 months before my wedding, I had my Manolos on in the office with a big pair of like welly boot socks. I mean, they were tight, but it meant that on the wedding day itself, they were super comfy. I spent 9 hours in them.
I would recommend as soon as you buy your wedding shoes, start wearing.
But you know what the thing is that a lot of people put it off. And then I think when you have a month to go, if you do it every day, and it can be just like an hour, 2 hours, whilst even you're watching telly, you don't actually need to be walking in them. You're just
having them on
wearing
shape of them. And especially like myself, I always get blisters with new shoes, so that's something that you would definitely need to consider.
I think now as well is the time to start preparing slowly your suitcase. So you're taking Compeed, do you have enough? You're taking paracetamol, you're taking all the things that you may need and you will use. You are double checking your appointment to go pick up your outfits. You're double checking that everybody around you has everything that they need. You're making all the final payments. Like the month before is often, I've got a couple who are getting married literally 6th of July, so in a month exactly. All the final payments are arriving like now.
So even for couples that if they know sort of that month they will have a lot of payments going out of the account, to make sure that sort of they save and have the
They save. I mean, hopefully they should have accounted for it already.
Yeah.
But you know that you're going to have to be doing a lot of this admin, and maybe if there are some larger payments that all need to be made on the same day, either space them out, or you'll have to inform your bank that you're going to go beyond your threshold. So yeah, those are kind of like my top tips for the month before. But please, like, stop looking at florists' Instagram and saying, maybe can we add this or that? The answer is no.
So when would you recommend then for couples to firstly get in touch with a wedding planner if they plan on sort of using that expertise, and then also a timeline of when to contact different kinds of suppliers, if there is one, or if you'd recommend something to them?
I think the situation pre-COVID always used to be people would get in touch with you anywhere between a year to 2 years before their selected date, which was lovely as planners. It gave us plenty of time, and it was amazing. COVID happened, and so it started to become, I mean, I remember just coming out of COVID in 2021, I had just had my daughter, and a couple got in touch with me and they said, we keep putting off our wedding, we're fed up, we want to do it in 5 months' time in Spain, can you help us? So we did it. I had a newborn whilst I was organising it all in a 5-month turnaround. It was only, I think, 35 people, so it was really a micro wedding. And then since then, up until last year, I've been having all under 1 year. But now, having said that, this year, I'm noticing that I'm getting a year, 18 months notice for all of my weddings coming next year. People are, and this week actually, I've had a lot of inquiries for next summer. So I think
now it's going back.
It's going back to that normal.
So do you think it's like that backlog, probably also from COVID, that people were just
look? The backlog ended last year. The backlog ended last year. The wedding industry had an incredible, hyperactive 2022, 2023, 2024, where there was a backlog of 3 years of weddings that everybody had amazing years. End of last year, it started to quieten down for a lot of people. This year, in all honesty, and I'm going to say it, it's quiet.
But that's what suppliers have.
It's very quiet.
It's still very quiet
now.
A
lot of people are saying it very openly. Some people are not. And I think we just have to be open about it. We all knew it was going to be quiet. And also think, 5 years ago, nobody was meeting. And the average time that it takes for people to meet, date, and get engaged is 4 to 5 years nowadays.
It could also mean that people are thinking more of the type of wedding they want, and they're willing to invest more, and maybe they're saving up for that kind of wedding they want.
I think there is saving up. I also think people are being much more careful with their spend.
Absolutely,
yes, fine, COVID is, touch wood, a thing of the past. But I think it's taught us that life is full of uncertainties. There's still several wars raging, Rod said. And people are careful. People are careful with their spend. Borders are being closed left, right, and centre. So people are being very, very cautious. So, I think you need to be still very flexible with all of these things that are happening. And it's gone back to the kind of year cycle, which is finally it's much more comfortable, especially I've got 4 or 5 bookings already for next year in terms of weddings. I think I'll probably get another 4 or 5, and then that's my year maxed out, because I don't do huge volume, but it ultimately it is first come, first served.
And so I think people are giving themselves more chances. Also, they want specific venues. People are now excessively picky, and they already come to you with a date and with a venue, but they haven't booked it, but they want that date and that venue. So, Saturdays are back on the cards. Everybody up until now was open to a Tuesday. Saturdays are now back on being super trendy. So it ebbs and flows.
thank you so much for watching us. We look forward to seeing you soon again on a new episode of the Coffee Morning Sessions.
Thank you so much. Ciao.